Small towns don't expect headlines, they expect routine, familiar streets, recognizable faces, predictable mornings. January 9th began like any other Friday in Cedarbluff. The sun rose quietly, coffee brewed. School buses warmed their engines. Nothing felt different. And that's what makes this story unsettling. Because by sunset, an entire region would be on edge. Not because of a storm, not because of a disaster, but because of a chain of events that escalated faster than anyone imagined. Here's what happened, and what it revealed. Cedarbluff, Mississippi is the kind of place where community isn't just a word. It's a way of life, with a population barely scratching a few thousand. Everybody knows everybody. Life moves at a slower pace, dictated by seasons and local high school football games. It's a town built on generations of shared history and mutual reliance. The crime rate, especially for violent offenses, has historically been near zero. In towns like this, people leave doors unlocked. Trust isn't questioned, it's assumed. But that assumption would soon be tested. Law enforcement is limited. A small sheriff's department covers a wide rural area, accustomed to handling minor disputes, not major crises. This sense of safety, so deeply woven into the town's identity, was about to face an unprecedented challenge. At approximately 10:15 in the morning, authorities received a call reporting a violent disturbance at a residence on the east side of town. The details were frantic, unclear. Initially, responders believed the situation was an isolated, albeit serious, domestic incident. A single cruiser was dispatched, its siren a rare and jarring sound against the quiet morning. Within minutes, that assumption began to shift. As the first officer was en route, a second call came in. Different location, different caller, but a disturbingly similar report of aggression. Then a third. Dispatchers began connecting the dots, and a chilling pattern started to emerge. The incidents weren't isolated, they were linked. It was no longer a contained event, it was a mobile and escalating crisis. By late morning, the situation had outgrown the capabilities of the small Cedarbluff department. Coordination expanded beyond town limits, pulling in county sheriffs and state troopers from neighboring jurisdictions. Multi-county alerts were issued, and patrol expansions created a wide, sweeping net of law enforcement activity. Public safety messaging, initially distributed through local radio, quickly moved to social media and automated phone calls. Residents were advised to remain indoors, lock their doors, and report any suspicious activity. A tense quiet fell over the town. Businesses closed, streets emptied. The silence grew heavier, filled only by the distant, intermittent wail of sirens. In moments like this, uncertainty spreads faster than facts, and a wave of collective anxiety washed over the entire region. To understand how a day could unravel so completely, we must look beyond the timeline of events and into the complex world of human psychology. Public records and later reports painted a picture of cumulative pressure. There were signs of recent financial stress, mounting debts that seemed insurmountable. Employment history showed instability, a pattern of short-term jobs and abrupt departures. Social media accounts, once active, had gone quiet in the preceding months. Friends and acquaintances would later recall a growing sense of withdrawal and irritability. Court documents revealed documented disputes, minor conflicts that hinted at a lower boiling point. Experts described this kind of escalation not as a sudden snap, but as a slow burn, a buildup of layered pressures until a breaking point is reached. This is the point where hindsight feels sharp, but foresight rarely is. The warning signs are often only recognized after the fact, a constellation of small, seemingly unrelated issues that, when connected, form a tragic picture. By afternoon, the mission had transitioned from response to a full-scale regional search. The entire law enforcement apparatus of central Mississippi seemed to converge on the area. A tactical perimeter was established, sealing off major roads and access points. Helicopters scanned the dense woods and rural farmland from above, their rotors a constant, thrumming presence in the sky. Interagency collaboration was seamless, a testament to training, but also a sign of the situation's gravity. Public alerts were updated constantly, broadcasting descriptions and urging vigilance. The entire region felt suspended in time. Highway traffic was stopped, creating long lines of silent, waiting vehicles. For those hours, every rustle in the woods, every unfamiliar car, became a source of fear. The search was not just for a person, it was a search for an end to the uncertainty that held thousands captive. The manhunt concluded in the late afternoon, not with a dramatic confrontation, but with a quiet surrender. Cornered and with nowhere left to go, the individual was taken into custody without further incident. This marked the end of the immediate threat, the moment an entire region could finally exhale. But it was not the end of the story. The legal process began immediately. Charges were filed, a long list reflecting the chaos of the day. The initial court appearance was a somber, procedural affair, offering no easy answers. For the legal system, this was the start of a long journey through motions, hearings, and eventually, a trial. For the community, it was the beginning of a different kind of process, the long, difficult road of trying to understand how this could have happened. In the days and weeks that followed, Cedarbluff began the slow process of healing. In tragedies like this, timelines are reconstructed with painstaking detail. Every minute is accounted for, but motives are harder to piece together. The why often remains an elusive, unsatisfying puzzle. The town grappled with its trauma. Candlelight vigils were held, offering a space for collective grief and support. Counseling services were brought in to help residents, especially children, process what they had witnessed. Town hall meetings were filled with raw emotion and difficult questions about policy, mental health resources, and community safety. It sparked a conversation about the delicate balance between trust and awareness. The empty playground, the flowers placed on a street corner, these became symbols of a community forever changed, a town forced to rebuild not just its sense of safety, but its very sense of self. I want to hear your thoughts. Do small communities overlook warning signs because trust runs so deep? Or are some escalations impossible to predict, no matter the environment? Share your perspective in the comments below. And if you value thoughtful, psychological crime analysis that focuses on understanding the why, please subscribe. Because understanding these patterns isn't about creating fear, it's about building awareness.